Here.
And you are the presenter, sir.
Awesome. Everybody can see my screen here?
Yes.
Okay, great. Let me just go ahead and just swap this. Yep, should be good. If everyone could see my screen, I'm more than welcome to start, Joe, whenever you think so.
Okay, yeah, let's get started.
Sure, absolutely. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking the time out today to pretty much take a look at this wonderful cloud-based dictation workflow solution. And pretty much what you're going to see here today is SpeechLive, a cloud dictation solution, making you more mobile and efficient. We're also here to kind of just discuss not only how SpeechLive benefits your workflow, but also too how to make your workflow and pretty much your day more efficient. So what is SpeechLive? Speak, send, done. That's how easy SpeechLive is. Philips SpeechLive is the ultimate cloud-based dictation workflow solution. Record your voice and access your files online from anywhere at any time. And any user can use their mobile device to dictate and send off to SpeechLive, or even have a new or an existing recorder they may have to use with this solution as well. What we see most of the time is everyone uses their mobile device, but also their hardware, dictation devices, and those things are completely compatible with this cloud-based solution that you see here today. And you'll see a quick demonstration in a couple minutes. I didn't want to miss off the security of SpeechLive. So SpeechLive offers highly secure online storage thanks to our HTTPS protocol. You have automatic double encryption in real time, server mirroring, and an automatic backup as well. So that means that your recordings, your audio recordings are secure during recording, during storage, and also through the retrieval process as well. So this really just keeps your data reliably secure and available at all times. Also, the great thing about SpeechLive is the automatic backup. Now with SpeechLive, you don't have to worry about a computer crashing, losing your audio files, or even if you have Windows updates where it messes with certain programs. With SpeechLive, since it's a cloud-based workflow solution, you're just there sitting with those audio files within the cloud. So there's no worrying about losing the audio files or anything else on the compatibility side. So a little bit of what I kind of talked about before is you might say to yourself, wow, you know, pretty much a solution like this, and you talked about how I can use my mobile device, also using a hardware dictation device. So what is that compatibility like with this cloud-based solution? So the great thing about SpeechLive is that you have a universally compatible with all these devices. So whether it's a Philips device or also a Olympus device, no matter what you're using, you're ready to use SpeechLive. And the great thing about SpeechLive is that you can be able to use, like I said before, your mobile device, which includes a mobile license to use. And if you already have a new or an existing device, you're already a step ahead to use that SpeechLive and have a complete solution to use there. So that's a great thing to kind of tell people is mobile, you can be able to use with your mobile device. It's already in your pocket. And also, too, if you have something that's existing, that's not a problem. With SpeechLive, it's completely flexible where you can be able to use that, too, as well. So I'm pretty much going to stop talking about all the details of SpeechLive and really just showing a demonstration of how SpeechLive is really easy, how really easy to use, and also the flexibility and also the pretty much the details from the ins and outs of SpeechLive. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to minimize this here and pretty much show my screen. Just give me one quick second. So basically what you're going to see in my screen right now is the Philips voice recorder application. Basically what this is exactly what you're going to be able to see from your mobile device. So it's really easy to use. So the great thing about it is that what you'll see here is the K-South A77. basically what this is the name of this audio file. So the great thing about SpeechLive and using it from your mobile device is that I can be able to customize this audio file. So let's say I wanted to go ahead and say, Joe winner file. I can be able to do so. So that's a great thing to kind of have there to say, you know what, I want to customize my audio files. I want to make sure and organize. Whenever I send an audio file and my typist, whoever I need to send it to, sees it, they can be able to see what it's for. Also, the great thing about it is the ease and use of this interface here. So you have your record button with it, which is the white and the recording symbol here. You have your fast forward, your rewind, and your play. Also, the great thing about it is kind of what you will see in your recorders too as well. You also have a high urgency pretty much button here. Basically what that means is once I click on it, it turns red, and every time that I send an audio file, automatically what will happen is these are called urgent files. Once I send it off to my typist, basically just goes ahead with the symbol and to say, hey, this is an audio file that I need to have done immediately, or this is a very urgent file as well. Great thing about this SpeechLive solution is how easy to customize it even further. So the great thing about it, what you'll see in the bottom here is you'll see a plus sign. Right next to it would be a pencil and a square symbol to the right. Once I click on it, the customization of this file is even further. I can be able to click on the category. I can click on the case file as a work type, whichever is needed for this work type here. Author, of course, would be myself. And the great thing about it is I can also add comments too as well. What this means is that if I need to add additional comments, I can say needs to be done ASAP. So it really just shows how I can customize everything on the recording on the author side. And when I send it off to SpeechLive, it'll send it off to my typist. The typist will get to see every customization that I had on the audio file. So once I go here, I'm just going to go ahead and press save. It brings me right back to pretty much this audio screen. Now, before I make a recording and show how it pretty much relates to the typist side, I just want to show how easy it is to log in within SpeechLive on this mobile device. So what you're going to see is dictate, recordings, and settings. Once I click on the settings tab, your second option would be sending options. Pretty convenient to have. SpeechLive is actually the first option. And automatically, I can be able to just put in an email and a password. Very convenient to kind of just use there because it's associated with your SpeechLive account. Basically, just like logging into a Facebook or even an Outlook account. Pretty simple to use and easy there. So there's no crazy configurations of maybe what you've been using before. So that's a great thing to kind of show there is how easy it is to log in. And the great thing to kind of add on to that point too is it's wonderful to pretty much log in from a mobile device, but also if you have, let's say, a tablet, if you have an iPad, you can be able to do the same exact thing within this application and still sign in from a mobile device and also from an iPad as well. So the sign-ins are actually unlimited on that part too as well. So what I'm going to do on my end is I'm going to go ahead and press record, do a simple recording, and then I'm going to send it to SpeechLive. And then we're also going to take a look at it, how this relates to the typist side. What do they see? And how does that pretty much go about from there? So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick recording. Hi, Joe, comma, new paragraph. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me today, period. Your suggestions were quite insightful, period. New line. I enjoyed meeting with you very much, and I was intrigued by your passion for cloud dictation, period. I hope all is well, period. New line. Thank you, comma, new line, Kevin Salsay. Great. So I just pressed pause here. Basically, I had this recording finished up. And what happens here is that everything is basically went from gray, and now it's all pretty much white. Now I have all these options here. What's going to happen is the third option that you'll see in the bottom are 3 dots that are connected with each other. Basically, what that means is that once I click on it, automatically sends it off to SpeechLive. So there's no really crazy configurations on that part too as well. So that's a great thing to show there is automatically it's sent, and then it's sent right over to my typist. Now, let's take a look at the typist side. So what I have here is an internet shortcut, basically just say, bring me to SpeechLive.com, which will be what your typist is going to be able to do. Once I click on it, automatically it brings me over to this screen here. What you'll see here is the same exact thing what I showed you before. The typist will be doing the same thing on her end on the website, and you can be able to use SpeechLive on any web browser as best as possible, since it's a cloud-based dictation workflow solution. So just like I said before, email, password, simple as that, and I sign in. Great thing about it is that for demo purposes, I'm going to show you the typist side. And just like that, I have that Joe Winner file here. Just shows here how easy and simple it is. From within seconds, I send it from my mobile device. And then once I send that dictation, automatically it goes right into my typist in tray. So you have that Joe Winner file, you have that urgency symbol here too as well. And you also see the case file, which is that work type. And once I scroll to the right, you see that comment needs to be done ASAP. Basically what that says here is just to say, great, everything is good to go. As a typist, I received the audio file. From this point on, I can see the customization to here. I press on play, and what you see, which is really cool, is the automatic online player comes up. Basically what's going to happen is that you can record, not really record, but basically replay that audio file that was sent to you. So I can press play, rewind, fast forward, really simple online player capabilities. I also have a playback speed, volume, and also I can configure a Philips foot pedal with this as well. The great thing about having this is that once as a typist, I can be able to configure that foot pedal, and then I can listen to the recording, pause, rewind, fast forward. It gives those capabilities there. So that's also a great feature to kind of talk about there. Also, too, what's really important on this capability is the left side, which you see here. You have a check mark, a pencil symbol, and you also have the X, which is the close. Basically, when I press on finish, it gives me this automatic message. What it says is, great, as a typist, you received this file, you have done your typing. If needed, is there any documentation that you want to attach to this audio file? I do so. It brings me right into my file explorer. And let's say if I wanted to choose any file here, I'll choose Philips Speech. I can be able to go ahead, attach that documentation to that audio file, and press OK. What this means now, that once I do that capability there, automatically what you saw the state of this audio file went from yellow, now it turns into green with a check mark. Basically what that says is to say, hey, everything is done, the transcription is finished, and everything is good to go. The wonderful piece about this is that as a typist for myself, once I go ahead and say, great, everything is done with the typing for this attachment, and I attach it to this audio file, as an author, I get updated as well, which is creating that audio. So automatically, we're just going to jump right back into it within the mobile application. I can go into my recordings, and that Joe Winner file that I just basically recorded for you guys, I can swipe to the left and open that attachment. So the great feature to kind of talk about here is I can make a recording from my mobile device. I can send it off to my typist. My typist goes ahead and says, great, let me listen to it, type everything up on the website, attach documentation, and I can pretty much almost be at Starbucks looking at documentation in real time and saying, great, I've seen the attachment. Everything looks great and good to go here. Let me just go ahead and just share it. I can share it from obviously it's a Word application here. I can share it. Or even if there's any edits, I can be able to go into that audio application, pretty much record and go from that point on too as well. And she'll also receive it to kind of do the edits there. So that's a really great feature to kind of have there, is to really show the updated use from the mobile side and also the recording side from point A, which is the author, sending it off to point B, which is your typist, whoever is doing the typing for you. Once they're done, it gets you updated as an author in real time to say, great, let me look at that documentation and go from there. A really cool feature to kind of explain here, and what I kind of talked about before, is this is a really great SpeechLive cloud-based dictation solution here. But how do I have a current, let's say if I have a current dictation device that I want to basically connect with SpeechLive, how do I do that? So the great thing about it is once you see on the symbols to your right here, on the top right actually, is you have an upload, which is uploading audio files that you may want to do. But the fourth option is the settings. Basically, when I click on these settings, there's an automatic upload tool. Once I click on it, what it does is it downloads this little small program, and what it does is bridges your hardware device, which could be like a DPM 8000, a Philips device, or even an Olympus device. And sometimes, funny enough, we've seen some Sony recorders that can be able to be connected with it as well. And you can connect these devices with SpeechLive. The great thing about it is that everything that I'm doing here now is a one-shot deal. So I don't have to do this every time. So I could do this once, connect my recorder, and every time that I have a recording, basically I can dock it, send it off to SpeechLive, and it's really easy and simple from that point on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I have a DPM 8000 right next to me right here. I'm going to make a quick recording, send it off to SpeechLive here again. And what you're going to see is the two differences from a mobile recording and also to what I have on my side over here, which is a DPM 8000 that I have connected with SpeechLive as well. So I'm going to go over here, make a quick recording. This is a recording to talk about SpeechLive, just to really show the test dictation here to talk about hardware as well. We're going to go ahead and press stop here, finish it, redock it, and automatically what's going to happen is I'm just going to go ahead and just press for Kevin here for demo purposes, and then automatically that audio file that I just recorded sends off to SpeechLive. So what you'll see on the bottom here is I have joewinner.wave, and then on the bottom I have a DPM, which is my DPM 8000. Basically what that means is I have a recorder, I have basically a recorder connected with SpeechLive. I make a pretty much an audio recording. I dock it, send it off to SpeechLive. Automatically as a typist, I get to see that recording there. So it's a really great feature to kind of show there how to use it from a mobile device. You maybe want to be able to use it on an iPad, since it's all application and web-based too as well. If you have a hardware device, you can record and send it off and dock it within your pretty much your docking station. And then as a typist, logging in again to SpeechLive.com, and also like you see here, being able to see that recording in real time. So it really just shows the ease of use and how great this mobile solution is. So one really quick point that I do want to make is what's great about SpeechLive is it's awesome to record and send it off to typists, but what happens if there's, let's say, John as an author that wants to create those audio files and he has 7 typists, or he has maybe 2 or 3 out of that 7 that he wants to only send it to. That's a great way to segue into this other pretty much piece of SpeechLive, is how easy it is to configure that for an end user. So what happens is in SpeechLive, when we set up your account, we can configure someone as an office manager. Basically what that means is they'll have in workflow capabilities. They can click on workflow, and almost like an IT admin, they can be able to take a look at all the authors, which are in green, and all the typists, which are in yellow. So basically, it's just all the authors on this account. So they can be able to click on an author, reset their password, edit the user, or even remove or delete a pretty much a license or revoke a license from one user and send it off to another. So that's a great thing to kind of go there. So also another piece to kind of add here is, how do I connect one author to what particular typist? I can be able to do so here. So, and pretty much to kind of really go back there is to really just show that to how to do this capability is you have the settings icon, which is the second icon to your right. Once I do that, the third option is workflow relationships. And I can be able to pretty much set anybody from as an author, which is on the account, to whoever as a typist, which is on the right side of the account, and distinguish that workflow relationship. So I can be able to go ahead and maybe click on Paul and say, great, you know, I see that Paul has Reed, Wolf, Sandra, and Waylon as their typists, but maybe right now with everything going on, I want all of them. I can be able to do so. And once you'll see here is that it went from 3 to pretty much multiple typists here. Easy, simple as that on the assigning part. And the great thing about this is that once I assign everything on the author to assign to what typist, easy as a check mark clicking on it, and everything is saved from there. So it really shows the ease of use to configure author to who I'm sending those dictations, and also sending it off to a typist and who I want to receive those audio files. So for demo purposes, I'm going to go ahead and have multiple people send dictations to me. And the great thing of what I'm trying to do here is really trying to show a piece to say, great, you know, I'm going to have multiple people send audio files to myself. And what you saw before is that I had one recording, right? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to be able to pretty much show this in real time of having all these people sent to me as a typist, press check, and as an IT admin or as a work office manager, they have these capabilities. And automatically when I go back into my dictations file, basically as a typist, I get updated automatically with all these audio files here. So it really shows in real time how it really shows from, great, you know what, we saw that, you know, at the moment we had, let's say, John sent to Kevin, and Kevin received those audio files, but now let's kind of update Kevin as a typist and to really have, let's say, multiple authors assigned to Kevin. I can be able to do so just with the capability I just showed you guys. And the great thing about it is that I get updated in real time. So what you saw here is there was one name, which was myself. Now I have multiple names and multiple audio files as well. I click on, let's say, the intro here. I click on Paul. I can see Paul's files. I click on Caroline. It really filters to pretty much say Caroline's files. I can go to Dan, which hasn't sent anything. Kevin, which shows that Joe Winter file, which I showed you before, and that DPM recording I showed you guys also. Also, I have Mr. Whalen, which basically sent me recordings as well. Preston, Reed Wolf, and all the others as well on that part. The great thing about it is I can click on in-tray, see all the recordings here, and also have multiple filters. So basically what that means is that when I filter the SpeechLive or filter the audio files, I can click on pending, and what pending is I just received that audio file. I just received it, it's in my in-tray, and basically what that means is that I have not touched that audio file yet. And now the great thing about it is if I have me as an author to send off to multiple transcriptionists, those transcriptionists can be able to touch that audio file, click on it, but whoever clicks on it is in control of that audio file. Now, the other pretty much typists won't be able to take control of that audio file unless the one who has touched it initially can be able to go ahead and finish it or suspend that audio file. And basically what that means is that the suspending, which is a different option here in a different state, which you'll see in a different color, to say, hey, I touched that audio file, I pretty much clicked on it, I've listened to the recording, but I have not finished it yet. You have those capabilities as a typist as well. So that's a great thing to kind of show there. And then also with the last filter would be finished. What this shows here is basically all the finished audio files from everyone that's assigned to me as a typist. So I can be able to take a look at past audio files. I can be able to take a look at anything else from that point on. So that's a great capability to show there. And kind of just to really piggyback here is just to say that also with SpeechLive, it can also be integrated with Dragon speech recognition. So this is something that if you need to see a little bit further, this is also a demonstration that we can also provide for you with one of our sales agents and really show in detail how you can be able to send audio files. And if you want your typist to really just go ahead and just edit a little bit of that speech to text technology, they won't have to do much because with our Dragon professional speech recognition connected with the SpeechLive, there's very little that a transcriptionist has to do on their end to do the documentation. So that's something that if you would love to take advantage and also take a look at, we can also provide that for you as well to take a look at a demonstration there. So what I'm going to do is pretty much just show, there's everything here that I just showed on the SpeechLive part, really basic initial things here, and really just get back into pretty much the presentation. So actually, let me just go back over here. Give me a quick second. So we also pretty much talked about SpeechLive. We talked about how you pretty much have the benefits, also what's great about using a SpeechLive on the mobile side, and how it's very efficient on the website as well. So just to go back on the SpeechLive benefits is one, working anywhere at any time. So you can be able to access your and manage your dictations through your browser and any pretty much browser from anywhere. So it could be at the office, it could be at home. There's multiple locations that you can be able to record your audio files and also access them to as well. So transcription from home is no longer a problem, and especially what we kind of see here today. So as long as you can pretty much safely use your private computer, you can also use that playback and transcribe recordings on that online player that I showed you before. Be mobile. That's the great thing about having SpeechLive is you can be able to be very mobile with your SpeechLive capabilities. Using your Philips voice recorder application on your smartphone, you don't have to use your computer pretty much to access or manage those dictations. You can also use your existing recorders. Pretty much what we talked about before. So you're having your Philips recorder, you have your Olympus recorder as well. Let's say that's something hardware that you want to be able to use. Those are completely compatible with the SpeechLive, which you see here today. You also have your high security standards. So SpeechLive really offers a highly secure online storage thanks to our HTTPS protocol. So you pretty much had the automatic double encryption in real time and also keeps your data reliably secure. You also have workflow management as well, and it's really excellent because it's just a click of one side assigning to another, and all you have to do is click on the check mark from that point on. It just really shows how well it is to pretty much assign the workflow at anywhere in the world. So you really keep everything up to date, and also if there's anything that happens, it really makes sure that you can be able to do everything from a click of a button. Lastly, smooth integration into existing workflows. Exactly what I kind of talked about before is how you have a Philips dictation device, or maybe if you have an Olympus, or even in some situations, we even see in Sony recorders, where they want to be able to connect or implement them within your existing workflow. So SpeechLive is compatible with mixed environments where all your users will have access and they're never left out. Really just shows all the benefits and capabilities of SpeechLive and really just shows how easy it is to pretty much use. So kind of just to really go back from here and really end this webinar, pretty much get into the questions too as well, is to pretty much contact your HTH Engineering sales agent for any more information. If there's any information at all that you need, you have HTH pretty much here at your fingertips to take a look or give you more information on, and also me as well to help you out on any questions as well. So you can pretty much contact HTH at sales@startstop.com. And also you have the phone number here, which is 1-866-254-0714. Really, pretty much, they can be able to help you out from sales to also support too as well. And you also have a 14-day free trial to test out the product. So this is something that if you want to take advantage of too as well, you can also be able to pretty much use the SpeechLive solution in the hands of your fingertips. So everything from mobile to the website, anybody who's on the pretty much wants to use the solution, we can also set that up too for you as well. That pretty much concludes my webinar here. I also have Joe Winter here too as well, pretty much can be able to also introduce a little bit more about the SpeechLive or any pretty much questions that anyone has, and go from there.
Yeah, hi, Kevin. Thank you for a great presentation. You did a great job. I just wanted to show my screen here, and I'm going to make myself the presenter here for a moment. I've actually got a Philips Smart Voice Recorder here. It is an awesome recorder. Let me show screen. Let's see, that would help. Here we go. All right, so I'm using a Philips Speech Air Smart Voice Recorder, and that is an excellent device because it works from Wi-Fi. It works everywhere, so you can be anywhere literally and do your dictation with a slide switch. You can listen to your dictation. When the dictation is over, you can rewind it and play it back, and when you're happy with it, a simple button press there and it'll show up in your SpeechLive account. So if I log in, let's say I'm the transcriptionist here, and I've got some dictations pending. Okay, and so I'll just do a quick dictation on the recorder and then send it. Okay, so I'm going to do that now. Okay, I'm throwing the slide switch up. This is a test dictation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thanks everyone for being here today. Okay, and now I'm going to hit Wi-Fi send, and I've just sent the file. And let's see, I don't know if anybody's looking at the webcam pictures, but this is the device right here. And I just hit send on the Wi-Fi, so it should be sent and showing up here, right here. So we can play that back as soon as it comes in on Wi-Fi. And there it is. So just fast and easy. If you are looking for a portable device, please contact me. We have some special deals on the Philips Speech Air Smart Voice Recorder. Okay, that's it for me. Do we have any questions from the audience today? If you do, you can unmute and say hello to us, or if you prefer.
I have questions, Joe.
Yes.
It's Phil. Phil Jacobus. Nice to meet you. And you know, I want to point out that Paul is a really good guy. He's very helpful. Does this only work while you're online?
The the Speech Air Recorder or the SpeechLive solution does need internet, but if you use the Speech Voice Recorder here, if you have this hardware device, it will retain all of your recordings until you get into a Wi-Fi zone, and then it will.
But not on my iPhone.
On your iPhone, they're also retained, or your Android. They are retained until you get into a Wi-Fi zone. So you'll have all the recordings.
I could record on the airplane or when I'm somewhere where I don't have internet, and then when I do have internet, okay. Now, previously, I was going to try, and I bought 4 9500s from you, so I have them wherever I go. But I was uncomfortable in giving access to my email for uploading to automatically send it to my typist. Is it still that way? Do you still have to give full access to your email account in order to send something?
Not anymore.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
Kevin,
I
you
can be able to answer that, Joe. So basically, Philip, that's a great question. So all it is basically to set up your Philips SpeechLive account we just need your email. There's nothing that goes into or we're going into your email or anything like that. What's going to happen is once we have your email, it's going to send out a SpeechLive invitation. From that point on, it's basically just to say, hey, you're going to activate your SpeechLive account. Once that's done, that's it from there. There's nothing that goes really associated with your email. It's just more of the initial part, which is activating your SpeechLive license, which we kind of saw there before was just using your email and your password and you're logged in. So it's almost like if you had, let's say, a Facebook or an Outlook account, just having your associated email and password to pretty much your account for SpeechLive. Okay,
and the SpeechLive, forgive me for asking so many questions, but it works on all of, does each device need a new license, or can I have one license for my computer, one license for my iPhone, and one license for my 9500?
So the great thing about it with SpeechLive is that all you need, if it's just for yourself, all you need is one license. Now, if you want to be connected with your phone, you want to be connected, let's say, within an iPad or anything that you want to connect it with, it's all associated for you as a user for SpeechLive. So it's per user. If you want to send pretty much audio files from yourself to, let's say, a typist, which could be, let's say, Jenny or Jennifer, whoever it is as your typist, they would need a SpeechLive license as well, because they're going to pretty much receive your audio files. So pretty much in a nutshell, just to say it's per user.
So the dictator needs a license and the typist needs a license.
Correct.
But the typist could use the license in the office, or if she's working from home, she could use it from home. If I'm on my 9500, it works for my 9500, it works for my iPhone, and it works for a Mac if I own one.
Yes, and I'm happy that you said that about the Mac, because also too, SpeechLive, since it's web-based, it is compatible with Apple devices as well. So you can be able to use it on the Mac machine, you can be able to use it on the Windows based machine. So the compatibility is all around there. So there's no really worry about what happens if I have a Mac. With SpeechLive, it works for everything.
And Joe, the foot pedal that I bought from you guys for my gals, I have two typists. I have to get a new foot pedal. Is that right?
Only if it's too old to support the SpeechLive. And Kevin, maybe you can tell me about that. We've got the, I think the current model is the LFH 2330. Am I right?
Correct. Yeah. So any Philips foot pedal would work with SpeechLive. So even if you have lower models, they still currently will work with the solution here too as well.
I hope this is not out of line, but can I ask what the cost of a license is?
So the cost of a license really depends on pretty much, I don't know if Joe, you want to go back to the screen over there for SpeechLive. It'll probably be a better help out there.
Yeah.
So pretty much just to kind of describe right off the bat, and we'll scroll down in a second. So it's per license. And then once Joe shows it over here, we'll pretty much show you the breakdown of everything to here as well. So we'll just kind of show this real quick. So it's, if you have 1 to 10 users, it's going to be pretty much $119.88 per user on the SpeechLive account. If you have more than 10 users, it's going to be $155.88 pretty much per user. And the reason why the difference is basically is 1 to 10, and advanced is pretty much from 1 to, I think now you can pretty much have it up to 120 users or even more. So it really depends on how flexible or how easier you want it. If you have a recorder, your best option is also to the advanced business package, because that's where you can be able to configure that recorder and things like that. But if you don't have a recorder and you just want to use the mobile side, you're more lean towards the basic.
Okay, so I have a recorder. Let me think. So that answers all my questions. I'm so sorry that I'm working from home. Joe, if you send me a link on how to buy this, I'll buy it, and provided that Paul will help me to install it.
Of course, Phil. I'll be happy to. Thank you. I'll send you the information.
And Mr. KS, I'm sorry, I forget your name.
It's okay. Name's Kevin.
Kevin, you gave a beautiful presentation. You are a beautiful man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I gotta go. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Frank. We appreciate your attending the meeting, and we'll be in touch. Appreciate it.
You have my information, right? I don't have to send it to you, or I'll also email Paul if I need to.
All right. Okay, Phil.
So thank you, and stay safe, everybody. All right. Bye-bye.
You too.
Thank you. And any other questions? I know we have some others on the meeting here. Are there any further questions for Kevin or myself? Okay, well, once again, we thank you for coming and watching the presentation. There will be a recording made of this presentation so that others can join us. Feel free to call us at any time at our toll-free number, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's 866-254-0714. You can also send an email to sales@startstop.com, or you can always click on live sales support here and chat with us. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kevin. We appreciate this. Have a happy weekend.
No problem.
All right. Thanks again. Bye-bye, everyone.
You guys have a wonderful day now.